Michael Jackson is in heaven. I can't believe how stupid some people are to believe that he is in hell. The man gave nothing but love to the world in a high degree. Michael Jackson is rocking the planets. Some people believe visions, which say that he is in hell, and brainwash their children with it. I had visions and dreams that he is in heaven and rocking the planets, making music greater than ever, and I even had visions about a cobra spirit sent out to children to give them such blasphemous visions about Michael Jackson being in hell. Michael Jackson is the god of the children, and that is why these sorts of religious deceptive spirits want to attack him. Let me tell you something, this attack against Michael Jackson tops it all. The air is pregnant of religious spirits who do not like the work Michael Jackson did in kids, bringing them love, peace and healing. These spirits are jealous. These spirits want to kidnap the souls of children. If you condemn Michael Jackson to hell, you have impersonated God and put yourself on his throne. You are playing with fire, and you are on thin ice. The art of Michael Jackson has often been misinterpreted. Michael Jackson is a surreal artist, using a lot of fantasy and imagination, which might have a completely different interpretation than what you think about. It is important to not fill him in, controlling people who cannot stand the mystery and crypticism of the wondrous world of Michael Jackson, and do not have the patience to actually try to understand this man, have begun their crusade against his art, making their own interpretation as the measure. They have fallen into prejudice, making quick opinions based on gossip and rumor, trying to put Michael Jackson in a box. They fear him because of his childlike, mega-intelligent mind far ahead of its time. They have accused him of Satanism because they filled him in according to their own paranoia, not based on truth. These accusations have actually spawned the false visions of Michael Jackson being in hell. It is like an Orthodox Christian sum up. Michael Jackson is a Satanist, so he must be in hell, where all Satanists are. So how did they come up with this lie that he is a Satanist? In their paranoia they have misinterpreted the man on the cover of the Dangerous album. This cover was painted by Mark Ryden, who said that this man was P.T. Barnum, a 19th century circus artist, loved by Michael. The little man on his head is Tom Thumb, the guy with who he toured. Silly Orthodox Christians have said that the man on that cover is Aleister Crowley, who they label as a Satanist. So therefore they also conclude that Michael Jackson was a Satanist, and they brainwash many with this lie. Liars will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. If you are guilty of spreading or supporting this lie against Michael Jackson and his art, you will have to repent and realize that your mind is dangerous, and that you cannot trust yourself. My vision of Michael Jackson showed me Michael being in heaven, where he was leading children up a mountain. On top of that mountain, there was an angel turning into a lion all the time, and it warned the children. The angel had a head like the sun. When the lion began to roar, the children began to have wings, by which they reached out for music instruments in the sky. Michael started to teach them about heavenly music, and started to fill their hearts with new ideas. He was a teacher of the children. Many of these children had a hard life on earth, and were deprived of their childhood. But Michael gave them their childhood back, and its innocent joy. And the wounds and pains of these children were turning into music. And suddenly Michael got wings, and flew with them across a heavenly sea to a heavenly city, where these children got their houses, and where they saw friends and family members back. And Michael stood there singing, "Wings to fly. These tears I cry are all but a memory, turning into music in me. It's all just a lullaby. All these pains in me made me fly, all but a memory, turning into music in me, turning into angels in me, all just a lullaby, and many choirs of angels started to sing together with him. And there was a huge ship in the heavenly city, and it was a warship, and Michael Jackson had a sword, and he had to train many children to wage heavenly war in the heavenlies, and many children joined the ship with many angels, and this ship went into the sky to fight. And Michael was patronized, was declared a saint, and the Lord revealed Michael as an angel, as the angel of the Lord. And the Lord showed me the future in which Michael would appear on earth in heavenly fire to bring messages from God and to destroy demons. And Michael sent many lullabies to comfort the children. And the ship was called the Ezekiel, and it came forth from Mexico. And many revelations came forth from Mexico, where the Lord had opened this portal. And Michael became a patron of Mexico, and many came to knowledge. And there was a day of judgment against all those who had committed crimes against Michael Jackson. And the Lord said that these criminals had attacked the spirit of childhood. And there was a day of jailing of these criminals, and they were arrested by songs, and their eyes were rolling out of their cases, for they had abused Michael Jackson by their lying eyes, and other eyes were melting in their cases because they had been racistic to Michael Jackson, and other eyes were pierced by heavenly sword because they were eyes of hate. And there was a huge judgment on the evil eye. And portals in heaven opened themselves, and the spirit of childhood was restored, and the chest muscles of men were melting away, for they had locked the spirit of childhood up for such a long time, and other chest muscles were eaten by heavenly snakes, because they had impersonated judges, and they had ruled by false motives. And there was a day of judgment on the chest muscles of men, for they had exploited children, and deceived them with lies, and their feet were tied together, and they were thrown in a lake, and monsters came forth from the lake to eat them, and they were called liars, and child haters, and there was a small portal, through which only children could enter. And they came in a new land, where adults could not terrorize them anymore, and where the spirit of money could not haunt them anymore. And the children brought many songs to an altar, and they were given their imagination back. And a voice spoke, "Do not hinder the children, as for those is the kingdom of heaven." And Michael Jackson sat on a throne, with a crown and precious clothings, holding a golden rod with gems. And children came to him, and they sat on his lap, while he told them stories. And he brought them to a place, where all their tears were wiped off their faces. And he brought them to huts with sheep, where they could sleep and rest. And the children received dreams of joy and healing, and could enter new worlds. And they could leave their old worlds and lives behind, and saw them transform into music, songs, and instruments. And Michael Jackson was their teacher of music, and taught them how to handle their instruments.